Happy Friday, everyone. And yes, I'm going to be fidgety for a second. Please notice my Super Bowl balloon is still semi-lit. And yes, I'm keeping it forever because I bought it Super Bowl Sunday that morning and it was like $15. So I'm going to blow it up this fall and we're going to have that all season long and be ready. So happy Friday, and we made it. You have a special edition of Friday outside balloon trailing. If you're sitting out here, it's 1,000 degrees, but you can see it's apparently breezy or windy somewhere. It just doesn't feel like it. So get ready. I have a lot to squawk about today. As you know, Thursday brought us the end of minicamp, which is really no football for 4 to 5 weeks. Everyone came out all smiles again yesterday, ready to work, stretching, doing drills, whatever. Everybody looks super happy, including Dan Quinn, who said he is encouraged by the off-season the team has had, and he has been unusually smiley all season so far, so I think that's a good sign for the rest of the year. Beside the others that we have heard are bigger or slimmer or faster, Keanu Neal has now been noted also as being notedly faster, which is going to be great coming from that middle. Remember how much impact he had last year, but now playing from that middle and being able to hit both sides, that field's going to get a lot smaller for Keanu this year. Tevin, who we really haven't heard anything about quite yet this off season, he has gained 10 to 15 pounds of muscle. So if he lost no speed, which we don't suspect he did, he is going to be fierce. And I haven't gotten it confirmed from any sources, but from what I've seen in pictures and on the field, it looks like Grady Jarrett's a little bit in tighter shape as well. We know he's been working out really hard all in the off season. And Tack finally headed to the ATL. He said his goodbyes to LA yesterday and said he can't wait to be in Atlanta. So DQ talked about some of the prep. He said even before free agency and the draft, he said, can we have the best mini camp ever? Can the players be ready? The coaches having evals and detailed plans ready by camp. We're going to have a lot of scheme changes with the coaching and player changes and additions. And how do we feature these new guys, the rookies and the free agents we're planning to get and then we now have? Camp starts, he said, I really want to do more on development work with individual players. Without the pads and the contacts, you can't do a lot of evaluation there. But we can really focus on the player and their techniques in this mini camp season. We want to prepare to feature these younger guys, get to know them. How do they learn? Do they learn in the classroom? Do they learn on the field? Do they learn one-on-one with coaches, with other players? And gave the young guys a lot of reps this mini camp, not just the rookies, but all the younger guys that have been here just a couple years. And to really see what happens on the field, not looking at their college, not looking at combine times, but see what happens out here on this field. And he said, Dan Quinn said, we asked the players to be very deliberate at their practice. They select what to focus on, improve, or DQ may tell them some certain things. DQ on camp. He said, we didn't have to really focus that much on coaching them up. Everyone was intense and ready to go, focused and helping each other. Veterans are mentoring the young guys. The rooks came out ready to go and ready to learn. They worked on their coach off the field again and not calling the plays and see, can we function with a group without the coaches? And the teams all looked really good. Ish, Savage as we now know him, is fully healthy. His move to that linebacker spot is working really well. He really understands how to use that leverage. So that's going to be an awesome addition to that linebacking core that we're really going to be stacked on. Desmond Trufant is, he's been practicing. He's not back to 100% yet. But Dan Quinn commented that his speed and ability to match up inside and outside is really an asset and one of his great strengths. When he went down, other guys knew to get ready and work to improve, and Rocky really stepped up for us. DQ also noted that True is at the front of his position group. He's a leader and a great competitor. You don't hear him talking or really mouthy and stuff much, but True is, like I said, really a good leader for that group. We currently have 7 tight ends, and we're going to really evaluate those guys, see the uniqueness of each and how we can feature each guy to get that narrowed down by the end of training camp. Devonta Freeman said he is good already, but he wants to be better and really work for his 1%. The confidence in himself and what he can do has greatly improved and is also really a great asset. And he and Tevin are both talking to Sark about what each does best, how they want to be featured, and what each of their strengths are. And those guys, even though they're competitors, they're also great teammates and really push each other and encourage each other as well. And obviously, these guys also have a great relationship with Sark already. Some of what we have seen on our new OC, Steve Sarkisian. The focus on minicamp is burst. He was the one yelling burst 1,000 times yesterday. Really sound charged up. You can see that youth in his coaching is really great too. He's really yelling, getting everybody charged up. And he had lots of focus and lots of work with the QBs and with some of the specialty teams, each group. So he seems really loose and friendly and chatty with the guys, able to joke around. So that's cool that they really seem all comfortable together. Freeman said of Sark, he's definitely a player's coach. We have heard from Julio, we've heard from Ice, we've heard some other guys. He said that he makes you feel comfortable. You can ask him anything in the classroom, as a group, in your player groups, or individually. He will go over something as many times as you want to, as you need it. He is welcoming on the input. He is not, well, we're going to try that if my way doesn't work. He really listens to the guys. So like I said, there's obviously a bonding chemistry with that entire O and Sark already. So that's awesome to see, because I think we know how the last couple of years were. I didn't say it. After practice, we had a little comedy routine. I really love how all these guys are bonding, and they're both on the offense, but they're not in their player groups. You got a running back and a wide receiver who we have seen has lots of personality. So Mohamed Sanu introduces Devonta Freeman to the media. Free now interviews Sanu. He said, "What are we talking about?" He said, we are talking about how this offense is spectacular. I like that word. He's like, "Well, how do you feel today?" Sanu, "Great. It's beautiful outside. There's like 2 or 3 clouds in the sky." Free commented, "Sanu, you're looking stronger than ever." He said, "I'm strong if you're strong." And Free answered, "Then we're strong." That's the brotherhood right there. It's a we. We finally get Free moved in his actual interview spot, and he was asked about the contract repeatedly. Insert Arthur Blank's "I'm not answering the same question" face. And Free just said, "I am pushing myself to get better in the best shape of my life. I work between the lines on the field and focus on football." Again, I'm not sure who this reporter was, but he kept asking the same thing in just different ways, and Free was not falling for it. He just kept saying, "We can be better than last year. We have a bond and a chemistry, and we know how to practice." Thursday camp highlights. Special teams and defense looked really fast overall. Sanu had a nice one-handed leaping catch. Hardy had an over-the-shoulder touchdown. Poole got some good air time going after an INT, and Duke Raleigh was out there catching the ball. So you know this defense is going to be catching as many as the offense in practices. And if anyone is concerned about Money Matt Bryant, don't be. We have a backup field goal kicker now. Mohamed Sanu made a team-celebrated field goal to wrap camp yesterday. Then after practice, the competition continues. Ice and Julio were an intense game of ping pong. Some player quotes for the week. Brian Poole is coming for your quarterback, and he plans to arrive violently. Rocky, "It's going down where I roam," was a caption to a picture that all the guys have shared. That defense really looking good. Keanu, Poole, Rocky, and True. That's going to be a fierce defense this season. I wouldn't want to play them, but I'm a Falcon, so it's okay. Duke Raleigh, after camp on Wednesday, met with a fan that was in a wheelchair and carrying a framed picture, big 8x10, of Duke Riley and another player in their LSU uniforms. And Duke said, "I really realize now how much the impact I have on lives. I love my job. Thanks to all the fans that came out and supported us." Duke also made a special thank you shout out to the ladies in his life for all their support. And Taylor Gabriel said, "Hopefully I am inspiring kids around the world that you can do anything you put your mind to." Of course, Turbo is talking about being undersized and underestimated, and we see how well that's worked out for him. In our off time, day 1, off time, Arthur Blank, Dan Quinn, Thomas Dimitrov, DJ Tavia, Ben Garland, Robert Alford, and others went up to Walter Reed this morning and visited some of our Wounded Warriors, and they were having a great time visiting and thanking these guys. Sanu is out golfing, so I hope we get some more gram or snaps on that. That should be a fun and entertaining day. Duke headed up to New York City. Brian Poole is down in Bradenton, apparently handing out jerseys. He had a stack of jerseys he was displaying, so you know his stock has gone up after last season. And remember, Brian was an undrafted free agent last year, and look how that's turned out. It's just hard work. Don Terry Poe was chilling today outside of his, apartment or condo. He is offering the skyscraper window washers some support and waters during their harrowing day. He is going to be a character. I like him. And Devondre Campbell is hosting his first camp this season. It's a free camp in Florida on July 15th. It's kids from kindergarten up to 12th grade. Don't worry, they're not going head to head. They're split into some age groups, but that's great for Devonta to be doing that. And Free plans to kick back for a week or so with his family. You know how busy the season is. And take his sister to Disneyland and then do some training. You know, Free's going to stay in shape. And he will be hosting a football camp in Miami. We'll have dates on that when we find those out. And before their release, Dan Quinn reminded everybody, this is a 24/7. We have one chance in this life. Why not set your hair on fire? So don't look for too much craziness in the next 5 weeks, guys. We're going to get some good stories, but there's not going to be boat trips, I don't think. He wants everyone recharged in July for training camp. So he wants people to relax, but, you know, don't be eating too many pizzas. Their Mercedes-Benz Stadium's new restaurant, one of Mercedes-Benz new restaurants, will honor Arthur Blank's mother. It will be called Molly B's and will be located on the 100 level, and it will have a separate entry by the main entrance of the stadium. Super excited about this. I can't wait. The renditions, I was going to say the pictures, but it's actually renditions of people in there. Looked really awesome. I can't wait. Don't worry, I'll be periscoping from in there, getting me some burgers. But Rich McKay presented this name last summer in a surprise meeting, in a management meeting last summer, but it was a surprise to Arthur Blank, and he had the name and kind of the rendition and some thoughts on this and wanted to honor Arthur with that. So that's so awesome. You see that brotherhood starts at the top of these guys really bonding there too. And even with our break from the field, you know I will still have happenings, sightings, and fun, and of course, Falcons squawking. So stay in the fast lane and set your Twitter and Periscope notifications so you do not miss out on an episode or a squawk. Rise up, Falcon Alley out!